Good afternoon.
Doug, you singled out Everson Griffin as a guy who could really affect the game, and he was kind of quiet. Did you give Big V a lot, any help, and how did you think he performed overall?
Yeah, I thought Big V, played extremely well. Extremely well. We did help him, from time to time, but there were also times when he had to, be on an island and block a tremendous defensive end who's had a heck of a year, and had a lot of confidence in V. And these are obviously the things that we've seen in him, his maturity, his growth as a left tackle, and played extremely well last night.
So how much will you try to get done installation-wise this weekend? Because there's so many distractions the week in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I think it's important that you keep this week normal. Again, a lot of preparation for the game. We can get a lot of good work in this week without the minimal distractions, and then next week get up there and continue to implement the plan, continue to review and work. But yeah, we can get a lot done this week.
What did you do last night when everything settled down?
You know what? I just went home. Some family in town. My mom was here. My boys from school were in town. Had some friends from Louisiana, and we just enjoyed the moment.
You slept?
I did sleep. About 2 a.m. Finally slept. Got down.
Jeffrey talked about emotional intelligence and an open heart when he hired you as things he was looking for both before he hired you and when he hired you. And, we thought that was kind of cute that they were hiring an NFL coach with, emotional intelligence. But he referred to it again last night as a reason why you guys were able to do what you were able to do this year. Do you, cultivate emotional intelligence, and how does it manifest itself in the way you do your job?
Well, obviously, I only know what I know, and I feel like I need to put our team in the best possible situations during the week, during the season, during the year. And for me, it all starts back in OTAs. And if I'm not talking about situational football back then, we're not going to have a 2-minute drive in the biggest game of our careers and our lives like we did last night. If I don't talk about red zone back then we can't perform in the red zone like we've done all season. If I don't talk about third downs and implement third downs offensively and defensively, and then we can't be one of the top third down offenses and defenses in the National Football League. So I think that's just preparing our guys and then having great coordinators. Jim Schwartz, Frank Reich, and Dave Phipp, having 3 great coordinators that I lean on to help put great game plans together. And not only the schemes, but being able to communicate and teach the game plan during the week and during the season, and having our team ready to go. I felt that all season our players were well prepared during the week. I felt like they were energetic and ready to go every Sunday. These last 2 postseason games, and I think even from my standpoint as a play caller, staying aggressive, staying maybe a little unorthodox, the 4th downs, 2-point conversions, all of that is a part of it. But I just think if I don't prepare the team that way and being smart and being that sort of staying ahead of the game, so to speak, then you're playing catch up and you're not winning these games.
How does you in this though? How does your emotional intelligence, the way you connect with the players personally, how does that help to those ends?
Well, I think that having the connection, having been in the locker room, I think having understanding the dynamic of what a team needs, what a team should feel, how we should practice, how we should play, when to take the pads off, when to put the pads back on. I think all of that is part of, that emotional intelligence that we all and I try to strive for and to have with the guys. And I think that relationship has gone a long way this season.
Doug, obviously Super Bowl week in Minneapolis has its own set of distractions and everything going on around the game. But how much, if anything, can you draw from the week that you spent in LA, being away from the facility, you guys in a hotel, for that extended time, how much of anything can you take from that?
Yeah, we talked back then that this was a sort of a precursor for hopefully this opportunity, and kind of going through it a little bit with the team hotel, the meetings, the travel to a practice site, and the media obligations and things like that, and now having been through it, it makes it a little bit easier, going up to Minneapolis, but it's just on a grander, bigger stage, obviously, and so the attention will be a lot more. There'll be a lot more distractions, a lot more pulling on, coaches, players, personnel, and having gone through it in LA really has kind of given us a leg up now, going up there in a week.
Are there lessons you can learn from the way Mike handled things in '96? You guys had 2 weeks, I think, that year.
We did.
I mean, it was a long time ago, but is that helpful to you now?
Yeah, it's very helpful. Again, it goes back to getting a lot of work done this week, preparing the guys, getting the film study in. And then when you get up there, it's just a matter of just continuing to review, implementing the plan during the week, and, just building towards the game. But, that's the way we did it then, and really not much has changed since.
When did your staff start working on the Patriots, and did they do anything even before Sunday's game?
We didn't do anything before the game. Nothing before the game. Everything now is from today going forward.
You mentioned that you want to keep everything normal, but it's obviously not going to be normal. It's the Super Bowl. How do you manage that with your players, your staff?
Well, it's just I got to just communicate and keep things on a rigid, tight schedule. And make sure the guys are focused, on the job at hand. They even said it after the game, last night in the locker room that there's a lot of unfinished business still to do, and we still, there's one game left in this season, and we've come this far, and want to make sure that we stay focused, and it's got a great locker room, as you guys know, and trust my leaders of that team, and to get the job done.
Doug, having spent time here before, and your kids go to school here, and now that you've slept on this, do you have a sense of what this means to this city?
It's I think until I'm out there, in the community and listening, what I've seen on TV and what I experienced last night with our fans, and just even today, and the text messages and emails and everything that you get, I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible, and to have played here a long time ago, and to kind of experience the passion then to what they're feeling today. I'm excited for them, for our fans, and they're a lot like us. I mean, we've been underdogs, for the last couple of weeks, and our fans feel that, and they understand that, and we're excited to have won these last two games, obviously, and we hope to have the entire Eagles Nation up in Minneapolis for a game in 2 weeks.
In Nick's case, he spoke about the 2012 draft and how you went out and scouted and the only one who did so. How important was that for the foundation and the relationship you guys had?
Well, I think it's important. He reminded me again last night after the game that I was the only player or the only coach to go out and work him out as a player, and leading up to that draft. It goes a long way. It goes a long way in his confidence and my confidence in him, and understanding that dynamic. Even though we sort of separated and went a couple different ways, but to be able to come back together now and do the things that we've been able to do and he's been able to do is not only a credit to him, but I think just the overall study that we did back in 2012.
Both of these teams obviously have had to overcome a lot of injuries to star players. That's part of the game this year. Both of them being number one seeds now, both in the Super Bowl. What does it say about the toughness of both your team and also the Patriots?
Well, it says everything. It says everything, and it says too that that it's the next man up mentality, and it also means that you have some veteran players that keep things together, and good coaching staffs, and it's just I think it's a tribute to the players and everyone involved that they can keep things going even through that adversity.
The way you guys have made it to the Super Bowl this year, a lot of people have talked about this being like not rebuilding, but building around Carson and developing a young core and everything, and yet here you are in the Super Bowl. I mean, what does that say about A, how difficult it is, and B, do you think that's kind of like a model that the rest of the league will kind of emulate now?
Well, one, it's extremely hard to win any game. Each week it's extremely hard to win, and really, there's not a. I mean, you just look at last year's team, last year's season. We had a chance to win some of those games. Those close games that we lost. We had a chance to win a few more of those, and we didn't. But we were able to do that this year. And you continue to learn from previous experiences, and to take Carson in his second year and to do the things we were able to do with him, and a lot of it's on the player too, and it's on Carson to study and prepare and to work out in the off season and to throw and to get all his receivers together in North Dakota and do the things that they did. Prepares you for the season and some of the success that you have, and it's just whether that's a blueprint, a model, or whatever. I think every team is different, but I do think that when you look at guys, whether they're free agents or in the draft, you want to make sure that their character fits with what I'm preaching, what I'm saying to the team, so that when we bring them in, they can just roll up their sleeves and go to work like everybody else.
In the previous 4 games or so, Nick had only completed 1 pass that traveled more than 20 yards. What was the difference in this latest game down the field?
I don't know. I could. The fact that he's had a chance to work with our guys now for the past month, there's a lot more confidence there. They're on the same page. The run game obviously helps. Some of the play action stuff we've done helps him. And listen, that's who Nick is. And just having time now with the offense has been able to open up some of those opportunities down the field.
Watching last night's game, your offensive line, after rewatching it, have they played any better this season?
Probably not. I think this is the best they've played as a unit. All the way across the board from Lane to Big V. I mean, these guys, we haven't talked a whole lot about them this year, but this is a group that, Coach Jeff Stoutland does a tremendous job preparing these guys each week, has a great run plan together, our protection schemes, and they just go to work. They just come to work on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and get the job done. And sometimes it's not always pretty, but it doesn't have to be. And at the end of the day, we find a way, and they find a way, and they were able to do it last night and put a really good performance together.
We've all seen teams kind of crumble under the lights in the Super Bowl if they're not prepared, mentally prepared. What qualities do you see in this team that make you confident that they'll be able to handle the moment and handle the stage?
Well, of course, it's been a while since that the Eagles have been there, but we do have a couple players on this team that have been there just as early as last season, and we can lean on those guys obviously, and some of the experiences that some of our other players have been to the Super Bowl and all that. But listen, I trust my leaders of the team. I trust that they will keep this group focused and grounded, and it's an all hands on deck mentality. They'll come to work, this week ready to go, eager to go, and they've been able to do it all season, and even the LA trip, is a great kind of a sort of a spotlight, the way they handled their business in LA, and to get that win, gives you a lot of confidence going into this week.
Along those lines, you have 2 guys who were in the Super Bowl last year, Chris Long and Garrett Blunt with the Patriots. How much do you lean on those 2, if for nothing else, to kind of pick their brains on how the Patriots prepare, or any insight to how they've done things in the past?
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. I mean, it's they're different, we're different, and we'll prepare the same way, that we always have. I'm sure they'll have some comments maybe later in the week, but it's just a matter of us just getting ourselves ready to go and preparing for this game.
Is it daunting to be facing the Patriots in this game after all the success they've had?
Listen, I think everybody in the league sort of envies the success to some extent, and rightfully so. They've been there, done that many times, and that's something that every other team would love to have. it's impressive, obviously, and it's well respected and well documented. At the same time, we're just going to prepare the same and try to block out all the noise. There's going to be a lot, written, probably both extremes, But again, our guys have been resilient. They've been able to block that noise out, and once the ball is teed up and kicked off, just trust our players, trust our schemes, and play football.
Going through that downturn after the Giants game, there seemed to be a lot less concern internally than from the outside. Why is that?
Why was I less concerned or not as concerned?
What were you seeing behind the scenes that led to you not being concerned?
I just knew that after the Giants game, obviously it was a great game, and we still needed a game or two there to clinch, home field and all that kind of stuff, and just needed time, and we didn't have a whole lot of time, but at the same, we just needed that. We needed time to work, and we needed time to get Nick kind of caught up. And again, going back to training camp, he missed a lot of training camp time, reps with those guys during the regular season. Carson was taking all the snaps, and it's just the way it is. So it's just a matter of him getting comfortable again, playing the quarterback position, and being on the same page with our guys. And so you've kind of slowly seen the progression of the success that he's had since that time. And for us internally, that's what it was about, just getting time and being able to work together.
There was some focus last week about the Vikings defense. When you were putting the game plan together, was there a point where you started to feel pretty confident about the answers that you had?
You never know until obviously you play the game, if your scheme and all that works. But listen, at the end of the day, there is no magical offense or defensive play or special teams play. It comes down to players and players making plays, and our guys did that last night. You do feel, and I'm sure the Vikings felt the same way, very comfortable and confident in their plan too. And a lot of times it just comes down to, it always comes down to the players. I mean, that's just that's the end of the bottom line. It comes down to players making plays.
On Saturday, players posted videos of them dancing, having music in the final team meeting. They mentioned how loose they were going into the game. Is that coming from you? Are you hands off about that? Are you trying to create a certain personality going into a game?
It's probably one of the calmest I've seen our guys, and most relaxed I've seen our guys, all season. I do want them to feel relaxed. I don't, if I'm tight and uptight, then they're going to feel it, and they're going to probably react the same way. And so I want them to, let their personalities show. Let them have fun. I mean, enjoy the moment. This is why we coach and play, is for these opportunities and these moments right here. And I felt like our guys were not only well prepared but relaxed going into that game.
Doug, what kind of influence has Chris Long had on Derek Barnett? They both made huge plays, obviously, in the game. Have you seen that?
Yeah, you just see he just keeps talking to him, mentoring him, teaching him, how to be a professional, how to play the defensive end spot, and Chris is he's just a great mentor to Derek and some of the young players on our team, and Derek continues to grow and seems to be making some big plays in these games here down the stretch, and I do feel like Chris and his leadership ability has helped him do that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right.
We'll send out a schedule.